Well, it's the 30th of January, and Manchester United have finally come up with a performance. Um, first of all, Mr. B, how are you? It's been a long time since I saw you.
Yeah, a whole hour. Yeah, I'm good, but after I'm happy with. I'm really, really happy with the second half. Really, really
Yeah.
happy with the second half. So yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
Is that the most enjoyable watch along for since probably the FA Cup final, I would imagine?
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt, that was a control game. There was no there was no pressure, especially in the first half, and just the way we control the game. Instead, I think European football is more suited to Amarin's style at the moment while we're still learning what he wants to do. I think he does probably have to adapt it for the Premier League, but yeah, it was good today, bath time. What's this, five out of six now, or unbeaten in six? I think
Three.
we are. Is that
Won
what?
three on the bounce.
Yeah. Well, look, it's coming. All right, they're not quite league games, and we are a long way off. But I think today it moves. It gives the team maybe that little bit more confidence. I mean, Bayinda didn't have hardly anything to do. And the one shot that he did, he didn't get nowhere near, and that was a ripper that bounced off the bar.
He,
Um,
he made that save from when Casemiro got run in the last like 5 minutes.
yes, you're right. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. But
Um, I was going to go through the comments
yeah,
unless you got any
no,
more
no, no,
opening
no, no.
remarks. All right, got Bilal saying "main oh man." Um, Andrew, this is the most pleased he's been with us this season, other than the City and Arsenal wins. Grace, yes, we will talk about Delo. If you want to send in any sort of video instead of like typing, there's an email address. I'll periodically check it, and we'll see how we get on. Got Ajmal, good game. Glad you enjoyed it, Ajmal. Good evening to you as well, Bilal. And we got a newbie, Jungle Red Green. Oh, have I said something stupid?
No,
No, I don't think
no,
so.
no.
All right. Big up yourself, Jungle. Nice to see you here. Feel free to like and subscribe. Good to get some goals from Chat Sport. Binder better on the ball than Anana. Look, I don't think that we really saw enough tonight from Binder to make sort of any sweeping statements. He got beaten by a very powerful shot that I think, to be honest, he should be getting hands to that. But he did a good save at the end. It was from like 30 yards,
I
like
know, man. But
near
sometimes there's
post.
some things you just can't stop, man.
I don't know. I don't know about that one, but it didn't matter in the end. And we've got We Deserve Better. What a lovely duo. And then all these hearts and things, which is exactly what gets me going, Mr. B. All right. So in terms of the game, we talked at half time about how we're in control of the game, but we were lacking penetration. Really was the key thing. Martinez a bit slow on the ball. Second half, Ahmad and Garnacho came on. I was delighted with those subs. Talk to me about.
As were you happy with the timing? I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't expect him to make him on. I didn't expect him to make him so early. I thought it might have been maybe 50, 55 minutes, but
Yeah,
he obviously. I like the fact that he's aggressive in the substitutes that he made. I mean, maybe he had put out the team to hold them because the fact that Garnacho didn't start. I mean, he made a difference. They made a difference when they came on.
and like in my experience with subs and stuff, is that you get like you get to half time. If you're not playing well, you get a bit of a bollocking from the manager, or you get constructive feedback or whatever you want to call it, and then you got 10 minutes really to go out and show that you've listened and that you're doing
Mm,
something, and that's why we see 55, 60, that kind of time subs being made. The fact that he did them straight away, I don't think that he would be disappointed. Secretly, I think he might have a few doubts about Toby Collier now. Um,
you know what? It's crazy. It, we've been wanting him to start games, and he started what he wasn't great today. He wasn't terrible, but I think me maybe being a bit harsh on him. He was, don't get me wrong, he probably was the worst player on the pitch today, but I don't think it's something that we should hold against him because he's
No,
been
not at
coming
all.
on in and he's been actually playing pretty well. So I would like to think that.
Look, that's regardless of what people say, that's a huge away game in Europe. 50,000. It's their cup final. It's their Bucharest are a historic team in some ways. They're a team that people know. Like there are a lot of teams like Karabag FC in Chelsea played against like Noah's Ark or something.
Yeah, they did the two called Noah's Ark. Yeah.
Yeah, so people know who Steaua Bucharest are, and I just think that Collier, he's had to deal with the travel and things like that. He wasn't having a great game. His touch was a bit off. He wasn't getting the ball forward. It's not the end of the world. I don't think he'd have had a bollock in, or that's the last we ever see of it. It's just he's right at the start of his career, very young midfielder. I think it was the right thing to take him off. And I think because those subs came at half time, they were almost planned subs. Like you'd get in trouble with your squad if you're hooking people at half time and not giving them like any opportunity to go out and show it. So I don't think that there's any issue there. But one player who really went under the radar, I think, well, I don't know actually, because I've spoken to people about the game. I was very, very impressed with Christian Eriksen in the second half.
Did he drop deeper in this? He played deeper second half, right?
Yeah, he went next to Bruno in the pivot, and I thought he was fantastic.
The thing with Eriksen, he doesn't have stamina running, but you see 10 yards, 5 and 10 yards, he's not saying he's super fast, but he's more than accurate to do it. It's just when he runs, but his control of the football has never been in doubt half time. It's just the legs. The legs, but
his running stats are really good. I think it's more about mobility than running. Like I've always called him a tractor because he'll get there in the end and he'll keep going, but he doesn't have the explosiveness to cover the distances. And against a team that obviously, I think that Steaua would struggle in the Premier League, and I don't want to do down any of our players, but I think one of the reasons that we look so good is because that they were noticeably below the physical power of a Premier League team.
Could well be. You said that you're saying that at half time, weren't you? That we seem to be a little bit a lot stronger than they were. I mean, you can only beat what's in front of you, and they've obviously done well enough to qualify. So I'm not going to poo-poo the football. I think the Europe, look, this season Europa is our level. We're not a Champions League team, so I want us to get the best out of this tournament as we can. I'm more than happy with the progression that we've made. I mean, we're unbeaten in the tournament, which doesn't happen very often, so it gives us a little bit of confidence. It would have been nice maybe if Rasmus had maybe found the net today, but the more I watch him play, look, you know what? Save the negativity. I'm not going to go into any negativity today. I'm happy with the performance by half time. I think the first half, we spoke about the ball over the top from Martinez that he wasn't playing. They just seemed to play a lot quicker in the second half. And as you said about the planned subs, maybe they were planned. Those two were planned. Yeah.
And one thing that I did find funny about Rasmus is when Kobe scored the second goal. I don't know if you noticed, but Rasmus was wrestling like a centre back on his arse when it went in. Like I found it amusing.
I'm gonna watch it again. I will watch it again. But what did we start to watch? The goals? Your man of the match. I was very, very happy with one of our number 10s today. I thought he was exceptional today. So, yeah.
I think that it might be this man. UK Stained is saying Kobe as a 10 is the only position he plays his best football. That was his position in the academy. I think Kobe's pretty good at 8 and 10, to be honest. I'm not sure about 6, but we'll talk about Kobe in a second. I just want to. We've got Yale, who's found here, who's back with us. Right, second half. I think that like there are a couple of what I consider to be misconceptions in football, Mr. B, and one of them is about moving the ball quicker. You don't really need to, like, if you move the ball quicker, you're doing it for the reason where you're trying to give players more space to drive. Like in Pep Guardiola teams, you move the ball about to create gaps to pass between the lines. What I was really impressed with tonight was the fact that our wing backs were getting into the box. One of them scored in Delo. We haven't, haven't seen a wing back that far forward. But also, I really liked how direct Garnacho was and how direct Ahmad was when they got the ball. We moved it quickly. When they got it, they ran at their man. And I think that was the key in the second half, is that we were, instead of like waiting the way Martinez was in the first half for a run or a gap or something, we were taking our fate into our own hands and making stuff happen and getting runners. And it's everything that I've been crying out for. I'm delighted with that performance because that is the blueprint, I feel, for next season.
Wow.
Do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. It's been our best performance of the season, both time. That I think that has been our best performance. Man City result was a better result, but I think performance-wise, in regards to controlling the game, and maybe what Amarin wants to see from his players and his team, I think it was today. It's going to be obviously the Garnacho coming on. We need pace. One of those two need to be really, really fast. I'm not saying maybe not really, but direct with his running. Yeah, it needs to probably be direct with his running. So it's not two direct players. It's not with the first half we had Ericsson and Bruno. No, sorry. It was Ericsson. Yeah, sorry, Ericsson and Kobe. We didn't have the pace. We had the passing, but we didn't have the pace. Question for you though, if we had a more intelligent striker with the pace, do you think it would have been a different first half?
Look, in my opinion, we should have scored 2 goals in the first half. Kobe had 2 chances that I would expect like a player of his quality to score. He had that cutback one, and then he had the sort of Gaza on Colin Hendry moment. Like those are 2 really, really good chances. And Delo also kind of like could have maybe done a bit better on the following up the shot. But it was very encouraging to see him in the box. What Kobe was doing in the first half is he was playing more of an 8 than a 10, in my opinion, because he was getting ahead of the ball, running the channel and creating space. And Ericsson was Bruno was advancing into those gaps, and Ericsson was playing between the lines. And I literally just think that it was Martinez wasn't playing the ball forward enough. Like, I think that in situations like that, I want to see that ball spammed over and over again until the opposition team come up with, like, they have to change themselves.
I plan to say something, I hear that.
Yeah, and it was always on, and I felt that we were being a bit snobby with that ball, to be honest, that it should have been played, because you know how much I love a channel run. And how important I think it is to attack and defend the channel.
And the thing is that they were set up for the run. Malacia did it loads of times, and Kobe did it loads of times. So I don't think it was something that wasn't set up to go. I'm just wondering if Martinez was brave enough to play the pass, because it was on maybe 5 or 6 times in the first half, and the 2 times that they played it in, they were actually in. He was brave enough to play it, but like I said, it was weird. It was weird because it was always on.
Well, I don't, as I said at half-time, I don't mind in the first 5-10 minutes of a game for that to be a suicide run, because you don't want to like lose the ball and it goes straight up the pitch and so on. So the first 5-10 minutes where you're trying to quiet the crowd, absolutely fine. But after that, I just thought that it was a bit lackadaisical. So what I thought was really interesting about the second half is that what Garnacho and Ahmad were doing is that they were occupying space, so a more sort of zonal system, and we were moving the ball quickly. And when they got the ball, instead of waiting for the man to come over, create a space, and then someone runs into that space, they were just, let's go. It's party time. And they were driving at people. And that's really nice because that's kind of two ways of playing. Like in the first half, you have a dedicated channel runner in Kobe Mainoo or Rasmus who's who's increasing the spaces in between the lines for Ericsson to get on the ball, for Bruno to get on the ball. And then in the second half, we were actually sort of saying like we're going to use our flair players to try and open this block up. And when they're opening that block up, the wing backs are getting into the box, and you see Kobe then knocking it across to Delo, who finishes at the back post better than Rasmus did. You see Garnacho getting the ball, driving, and then actually picking a man out with a really, really nice bit of play from him, and Kobe applying the finish. And it's I felt that things are beginning to are beginning to click, and I feel a lot of that is because we're preparing for Dorgu, to come into the team.
Right, and this is what I think it's noticeable that we're now playing more attacking. I'm not sure that Amarin maybe trusted them, especially the left side, more. And today, the last couple of games, the fact that he had one of the games, he had Dalot on the right. So he's played Dalot on the right twice now, right? 2 games in a row. He played Dalot.
Yeah.
Dallow's right. So Dalot started on the right this week. He started on the right against Fulham. I just feel that right side, if Ahmed doesn't play there, is going to be the side that Dalot will. I think Dalot is the cover for that side now.
I think it's first choice right wing back now.
Do you? Instead of Ahmad?
Yes. Ahmad, he likes as a number 10. And look, I told you yesterday that I thought that Maz would start at right centre back and Delo would start at right wing back because they're trying to build that relationship. And I was a little bit surprised that when Yoro came on, he came on as left centre back.
Yeah, I think that was more to replace. I actually think that was just more to replace Martinez rather than a system. Yeah, because I would have expected him to go the other side, but he's replaced Martinez 2 or 3 times on the left-hand side now. He just doesn't start on the left.
He's more aggressive than Martinez on the ball. He gets the ball and he runs. And I mean, do you remember like that shot by Ender saved? It came from Yoro getting up the pitch and then them just running off Casemiro. So I feel a bit sorry for Yoro in that case because he showed a bit of spirit and adventure and what I want from our youth players. And he kind of got sort of he got hung out to dry a bit by Cass in that situation. He was, he just looked like a bloke on a stadium tour who's been allowed on the pitch, to be honest.
Look, and that's why he doesn't play half time. Maybe he's good around the changing room, which is fine. Hello, good morning, whatever he says to everybody. But at the end of the day, we need players on the pitch who can play. Right. So yeah.
I want to do some comments if I can, and then we'll continue that. UK Strange saying that Højlund isn't a striker. He's not got a forwards mindset. You need to be ruthless as a 9. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot really we can say about Rasmus Højlund. We discussed him to death. Famlata Gubler, GGMU for life. Welcome to the family. I hope you're well. Ten Hag wanted Højlund. I have no idea. He's bang average. I know UK Strange. You haven't been around for a while, but I mean, honestly, I'm saying Xerxes should play every match over Højlund, and I think Xerxes is also a bag of shit, to be honest. All right, Andrew is now the noticer. Did you notice the link up between Ahmad, Kobe, Bruno, Garnacho? Look, we had combinations for a change. I did, and we sort of discussed it a little bit earlier about how Garnacho once again is the entry to the box or the final third. With that Bruno Garnacho combination we've seen so long. But now we're seeing a new one with Ahmad and Kobe. And we'll talk a little bit about Kobe after this, because we don't want to do a long show, do we, Mr. B?
No, thank you.
Tyrone, the dead husband, is saying we need our wide players to run at the defence. It was nice to see. Chatsport, it would be nice to have a left back. I agree. Yoro is brilliant. He will improve. Look, we don't have Ten Hag. We do have Rasmus. It is what it is. Michael, haven't seen you for some time. Ahmad looked tired.
Oh,
Was that a Brummie accent? No, I do like the Brummie accent though. This sort of, I like that sort of tone it has. And Nana looked like an auntie compared to Bayern. All right. So, what I want to ask you now, Mr. B, is what have we learned about the players from that game, positions, etc.?
we know who our starters are. I think that was first things first. He's now beginning to know his strongest players. I think they're now beginning to understand the system that he wants to play. I'm hoping moving forward that we see this again and again and again, and then it stops people saying we need to be playing in a back four. We need to be. He's got his own style. He needs to be backed in his own style, and I think the players are now slowly understanding what we need to do. It's just I'm
So,
glad we
what is
played.
that?
I'm glad we played a defensive team today because I think we needed more patience. And then obviously the second half, he was able to maybe look at things and make the changes in certain areas. Just going to be interesting if he starts with that team, what the opposition do, because obviously Premier League is different. The level is different. They're going to be trying to hurt us. So I just want to see how the team copes with that. On the ball, I think we were fine today. Even off the ball, we didn't really have too much running to do. So, as I said, when certain things, they target weaknesses, they try to find weaknesses. But the setup that we had today in certain places, I really, really liked as well. If mistakes were made, I know he said he wants the team set up. So if errors are made, you've kind of got cover set in certain places. That
Rest
seemed to be,
defense.
yeah. Well, it's working now. They're understanding it that little bit more, So his system isn't the same. His rest defense isn't set up the same as Ten Hag's, but they're
Didn't have
now
one.
they're now starting to understand something. So yeah, moving forward, I'm really positive. But I said maybe it's just this game. The Fulham game gave me gave me a lot, and this one is can see it building. So we just have to move forward. Bath time to Sunday.
I think what's interesting is that I've been thinking a lot about boxing recently and how under Ollie we were like Deontay Wilder, wild punches that would just knock a team out, and I think under Amrin we're beginning to see a body puncher, where we're
Weaken them.
weakening them for the first half, 60 minutes, and then taking them down when those punches have all added up and there's no gas left in the tank. And that felt like the plan to me tonight, and would be the only explanation I can think of why Martinez was so hesitant to get the ball forward. That it was about making that team run, and then Ahmad and Garnacho were going to come on against tired legs.
Which they
But
did.
what do you like when you talk about the system and the players are beginning to get it? What are you seeing that suggests that? What patterns of play or little things?
It's where the players are actually playing. It's the positions. When Amarin came in, I think he thought that Mainoo was a central midfielder, as in
Yeah,
one of the two. Bruno can do that job, and Bruno does that job really, really well. I think he's now, because even when the team was set up, I'm saying there's no way he's going to be playing Bruno ahead of Mainoo. And as soon as they lined up and I saw it, I said, okay, so that is learning. We've been saying Mainoo is probably a better 10 than than an 8 or a 6. But I think that now maybe the coach is beginning to see more of what Mainoo. Look, we know that top half, that top third of the pitch, he'll beat a man with a body swerve, no problem, And the link up in the second half between him and Ahmad, I thought was, especially on the left, because he more played left in the first half,
yeah,
and
they
then
went
more
right
right, and
second.
then right in the second half. And I think that Ahmad, the link up between him and Ahmad in the second half, I really, really enjoyed seeing the 1-2s You know, some of them didn't pop up, didn't work, but the fact that they were looking to open up straight away, it's like they knew as soon as I pick it up, I'm gone and I'm going to be something. Maybe I'm saying they've discussed. Maybe it is a system thing, but I just Bruno being more responsible, playing deeper,
Yeah.
and trusting the players ahead of him to be the creative spark rather than him trying to spam the ball over them and bypassing them. I think more he was trying to more play with them and interchange with them as well. Obviously, Collier, we did have.
He still fitted in a ridiculous 30-yard shot that went off the bar.
And the thing is, because the goal came within the next passing of play, we didn't even have time because even on when I was watching, I said, "Fuck it." I'm there thinking, "Oh, what are you gonna?" And then when he hit it,
Yeah.
it was like, "Oh shit!" And then I'm looking in the chat, and I'm sure nobody in the chat even said anything about the shot. And then
Well, we
the goal
scored, didn't
came
we?
up,
Like,
straight afterwards, with that pattern of play. So yeah,
Shout out to Chris Wines. How was your match against Palace bath time? I didn't know I was playing against Palace, but we're playing them again on Sunday. I'm getting drunk tomorrow. Well, we're playing Palace on Sunday.
No, I know, but he's saying, "How was your match against?"
Yeah, no, but no, he's put me in the squad. I'm playing against Palace. Me and Ugarte in the middle. I had surgery this morning. Just got home from hospital, so we're on commute. That's now good. Well, rest up, and I hope that
Rest up, man.
I hope that you're all right. Maybe don't watch the team if it was heart surgery. I'll tell you what I really liked in patterns of play that I saw Mr. B that involved Kobe, Bruno, and everyone else. Is that in the first half we saw like Kobe kind of going into almost the left wing back role at times, letting Malacia get in ahead, and then Bruno sort of running off. And I felt that those rotations were really, really nice. And then in the second half, he did something similar, but Ahmad was starting deeper, and then Ahmad was able to take the ball either on the outside with an overlap or a kind of diagonal underlap. And I think that having like 2 points of attack from Ahmad is really, really promising. Like, is that, have I explained myself?
Yeah,
well
no,
there?
you have. My problem is that that is a player. Ahmad's able to do that individually as a player. That can't be done in a system.
Oh no, that can be done in a system.
What, even with the under? I just think technique wise, Ahmad is
Well, you just need left foot
for that. When you say that, Anthony had a left foot.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Anthony. Like, I what I'm saying is that is not improvisation.
No. I agree with that. That's
Okay.
something that's been
So your search can just be done with Ahmed. All right, I agree with you. Mazraoui ain't doing that. I don't know. Luke Shaw's back again, and you know what Luke Shaw is like when a new player comes into the club.
It's crazy. It's incredible, man. I don't understand how he can just get himself fit as soon as we make another signing that we want to take, that wants to take his position. It's incredible. But I have no time for Luke. I'll be honest. I have no time for Luke Shaw.
I still have a bit of time for Luke Shaw because he did nearly lose his leg playing for us, but the fact that he then pissed about in the Euros has almost eliminated all of that. But
yeah, I never forgive him for that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But Luke Shaw is, make no doubt about it, he's got a good engine and he's a technical player. Like he could do something similar to what Ahmad is doing there, and we saw it in the Euros like 4 years ago now, that he did pop up at the back post to score in a final, and I was very, very impressed with Deleu's engine. Like I think that Mazraoui is going to have a hard time getting in ahead of him at right wing back.
I'm not sure Mazraoui is going to be the right wing back. I'm still convinced.
Centre back.
Yeah, I think he's I think he's right centre back. I really. So
is he on the chopping block because we've spent 50 million on Euro or whatever it is?
No,
we've invested a huge amount, and that's Euro's position.
Well, Maguire's got 1 year left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more thinking that Euro gets game time this season to make him a full-time starter for next season at right.
What, as a central centre back?
He could go central centre back.
It's not good enough in the air.
You don't think so?
Not at all. He wins headers by being tall.
But his heading technique's not probably.
Yeah,
not
it's pinning and thing. But the thing is, right, is that whilst I think that Yoro is going to turn out to be a top defender, I think that really when you look at him and his footwork and his pace in wide areas, he's going to be a cracking outside centre back. And I think that
right side,
yeah. I think that Mazraoui is a very, very good footballer. He's someone I would always kind of look for to find somewhere in the team
to play, yeah.
But over the course of the next 2 seasons or so, you've got to hope that Yoro takes that side and that maybe Maz steps it up in some other area.
Position. I mean, look, the fact that he can play multiple positions probably benefits him as well. You know, he might not necessarily start. He might fill in a gap when somebody is, you know, injured or needs a rest. So I think he's gonna have a lot of game time. It might not. I just think the fact that he can play his football smarts was gonna benefit him a lot.
All right. Well, let's do some comments. Finish up. Do some housekeeping. Brush our teeth and go to bed.
Food to eat.
Yeah. Sure, we'll play his obligatory one match versus. Yeah. Mr. Potus, I don't think I've seen you for a while. We loved it, didn't we, Mr. B? We loved the game today. I hope you enjoyed it as well. He's with you about Shaw. Why on earth did he go away with England? It wasn't good for us. Maz will play versus Palace over Martinez. Mateta will be a problem. I like Mateta. Like he's a big bowling ball of a player. So you seen that Indiana Jones film? That big ball comes rolling out
down the hill.
Mateta would be a much better player than anyone we've got. Tyrone is saying we're lucky to have Yoro. Even if Madrid come calling, they have to pay top dollar. Yes, it's frustrating because when he's fit, Luke Shaw is a very good player. Right. We are trying to do shorter match reactions and then do a proper show about it the next day when we've had more time to think. But tomorrow, I'm on the drinks tomorrow, and I'm going to turn up to Mr. B's show, and I'm gonna Mr. B is gonna unleash me at some point.
You don't worry. You can come on. It's a Friday night. I want there to be. We're a very polite channel. Let's be honest.
Sexy channel as well.
Yeah. Well, you know,
polite sexiness. That's what we're known for.
Sexy politeness.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, I just want to hear a few people's opinions on different subjects. So the fact that we've got maybe 5 or 6 people on, I'm hoping we're all not going to be vanilla tomorrow, and that we so you coming on.
Is that a racial comment? Vanilla.
No, no.
Oh, you walked right into that, Mr. B.
Oh, well done, man.
The only thing vanilla about this channel is your beard.
You're an idiot.
I know. I know.
Oh God, you're an idiot, man. So yeah, look, we will be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock with a few guests. Let's just say we put it down.
Are we doing it for 9?
Yeah, we're gonna go for 9, and then as I said, we'll stop when we stop talking. It might be an hour. It might be an hour and a half. You might pop in and have a couple of drinks. I want to pop back out and come back in again. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. There's a few things I wanna put by people in the chat and more people on the panel, because I know there's a lot of disagreement. So yeah, it'll be good tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, wicked. Well, that's our reaction show for you tonight. Please like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. And we'll see you tomorrow night, where I will be fucking hammered.